And it's time for the first pitch. Tonight's game time start is presented by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And now I turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball from beautiful U.S. Cellular Field right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Curtis Granderson gets set to lead it off. Curtis at 259, 13 homers and 35 driven in. And the first pitch of the ball game taken outside. Granderson 1 for 8 in the series, and lifetime against Burley 5 for 20. And that's trouble. Get foul, it will. Thank you very much.
That ball was hit off the end of the bat, and fortunately, Granderson, who does have some big power, hooked the ball, and it just went on the outside of the line. Granderson thinks it's going to be a triple.
Well, that's the reason I thought it was going to be fair, too, because if he hits it solid, it's going to be foul. If he hits it off the end, it's going to be probably very close to being fair.
That's a big break because Mark Burley, if he goes inside at all to Granderson, he wants to go in and up.
Curveball strike. Tigers come in at 31-26, hitting at .262 as a club with a 4.02 ERA. And that's fouled back. This is the 6th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 5, Sox have won 3. That's up high, 2-2. Big gap out there in left center. He gone.
Good off-speed breaking ball, and he gets Granderson well out in front of it. It's more the speed than the location because this ball actually hangs over the inner portion. Granderson probably looking for a little more break. Smart gets away with one, but a good way to start the game.
So here is Placido Polanco hitting at .248, a homer. He's driven in 21. Polanco 1 for 8 in the series. Lifetime against Burley has hit him well, 13 for 32. And now make it 14 for 33. Pies will get it over, get it in.
Polanco's got such a quick stroke that this cutter is supposed to be inside. Polanco choking up on the bat doesn't let it get in. So he gets a good part of the bat on the ball, and Pods does a nice job of getting the ball back into second base, making sure that the double play is still in order for Ordonez, who doesn't run like he used to.
But he has hit Burley hard, 15 for 30. Should be. Take your time, boys. You got plenty of it. Bad throw by Alexi, but a nice pick by Konerko. After a half inning of play, it's the Tigers nothing, and our good guys coming to bat.
Ramirez Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome, the DH, hitting fourth, and Paul Konerko, A.J. Pierzynski, Gordon Beckham, Jason Nix, and Brian Anderson. Willows defense behind Dontrell Willis will be Rayburn, Granderson, and Ordonez in the infield. Inge, Everett, Polanco, and Cabrera. Laird behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Dontrell Willis. Willis on for the sixth time. ERA a touch under 7.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As first pitch down low to Scotty Pods. Pods 3 for 8 with a homer.
And if they wait out Dontrell Willis, he will not last long in this game.
Pods has faced him 7 times, has 1 hit. And the count 3-0. Sox come in at 27-31, hitting at .251 as a club with a 4.26 ERA. Not even close.
Here are the game conditions, and the temperature dropped about 15 degrees. It's 55 at game time, humidity 85%, winds out of the east 8 to 12 miles an hour. Cloudy and cool, but Roger Bossert assures it's going to be okay. And the men in blue, Jim Joyce behind the plate, Brian Runge at first, Darrell Cousins at second, Bill Miller at third.
So here is Alexei. Scotty Pods 7 for 10 in stolen bases. Ramirez, there are his numbers. 5 for 9 in this series with a homer. Willis says, I'm all right, I'm all right. Willis got those high pockets working for him.
Well, you can see the last 3 starts, he hasn't been good. When he starts throwing pitches out of the zone, he cannot get his confidence back, and Laird went out there to try to settle him down. The one thing you don't want to do is help him out at all.
You certainly don't want to get picked off.
No.
Willis, big man, 6'4", 225.
6 straight bad ones, and now Jim Joyce is going out to the mound. This is most unusual.
You don't see that at all.
I have never seen it.
You don't see that. That's what I said. At all. At all. Now, I'm Jim Leland. I want to know what he's telling him. Maybe just, hey, you better stop. Give me a little time.
Well, he didn't do it that time either. And if Jim Joyce wanted him to pause, he's not pausing very long. It certainly isn't a full second pause.
And that's low. 3-1 to count. Outfield about equidistant. There goes Pods. There's strike. And they don't get him. He had to come up as it was a low throw. And here comes Leland.
Polanco arguing with Darrell Cousins, and because the throw was a one hopper by Laird, you have to come up to catch the ball. Now, if you can stay down on this, he's probably going to throw him out. He's looking back, see if there's contact, and he looks safe. I mean, you see him come up. A bang, bang play. Very close at second.
So a full count to Alexei. And here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. And another nice crowd on hand tonight.
Dontrell has thrown that fastball at 88, 89 miles an hour. That's well down from his heyday with the Marlins.
He swings at ball 4, but he's going to get the job done as far as getting Pods into third.
That ball was a good 8-9 inches low and away.
And right now, let's check out our Heineken Pitch to Click. Jim Angio, our director and the crew. Well, they went with Jason Nix, Lisa, Steve, and Tex. Going to go with Gordon Beckham and Kerry McDonald. And Jim and Kathy Canatero and I, we're going to go with Ryan Anderson.
Bobby Bertucci came in the booth before the game and was resplendent in a brand new shirt.
He is always resplendent. Whether it be old, medium, or what. Here is Jermaine. Infield in. So a big break for Dontrell Willis right there by Alexi Ramirez. Swinging at it. Definitely ball 4. There's a strike. Jermaine hitting at 288, 15 long ones. He's driven in 39. Jermaine is 5 for 8 in the series. There's a shank, and he is on top of the count, 1-2.
This Detroit team in first place in the Central. They lead by 4 games over Minnesota. 4.5 over our Sox team. We're tied in the loss column at 31, 5 losses behind these Tigers. There's Jim Leland, the skipper. And there you look at the standings.
A 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Willis in his career 10 over at 69 and 59.
There was a time with the Florida Marlins when he was pretty close to unhittable. He's had all kinds of problems with the Tigers, still trying to find it and get that fastball up to 91.
And a full count. I was watching him get loose before he started his warm-ups in the bullpen. They were throwing long toss. And he was standing on the right field line, taking 1 step and throwing it almost on the warning track in front of Know Your Stats out there.
Well, there's no doubt he's got a strong arm because he's a big, strong, still young man. He's just had problems finding the plate.
Right at Polanco. It's at Nichols. And it is out number 2.
If you haven't heard, the Sox got one of the guys that they had targeted at 23 in the first round, and that's Jared Mitchell out of LSU. He's a center fielder, and he can fly. Former football player, actually was a backup receiver on the LSU Tiger team, and a world of potential.
So 2 out, and here's Jim Thome. Hitting at 252, 10 homers. He's driven in 35. We need to pick this run up, big guy. Should have had men on first and third. Or I should say men on first and second. With nobody out.
And a whole lot more pressure on Dontrell Willis with nobody out facing Jermaine Dye.
That's the whole key. That breaking ball hit our play, and very quickly the count 0-2. And when you get a guy who his thought process is very fragile, which that's pretty obvious at the control problems and issues he's had, the last thing you want to do is let him get some confidence.
Well, unfortunately, Alexi was a little over anxious. Now, Willis has not thrown a wild pitch this year, but he's only worked. This is his 26th inning. So if he wants to bury that slider in the dirt, Pods has got to get a good secondary lead, and he can come down as far as he wants to because Inge is nowhere near the third base bag. Like he can come down another 15 feet and Inge still can't get him at third.
Time is called now. By Thome. There it is. They're going to get him. No.
And there's where the secondary lead comes in, and Dontrell might be hurt. He's laying on the plate. First wild pitch of the year. Now they're going to take a look at him. Remember, he hurt his knee once against the Sox after facing just a couple of hitters. He looks to be okay. And that play was a lot closer than it should have been, because the ball bounces right back to Laird. They're still going to check on him and see just exactly how that knee is, but that's why you talk about a good secondary lead with a guy that has trouble throwing the ball close.
And you don't know if it's going to hit that pad or not. If it hits the concrete as it did and comes right back. If you don't have it, you gone.
Well, they made it a lot closer play than it should have been. A good effort by Laird. And again, the capricious nature of the bounce is something you can't possibly predict.
No.
It could have easily just stuck there in the wall, and then he just comes just trotting home.
Well, you only got there 5 or 6 inches of concrete before the padding. As Thome goes down, but the walk to Pides. He steals second and comes in on a wild pitch. After 1 inning of play, it is 1-0 Good Guys.
Area today. Save on each ticket for a group of 20 or more fans, whether it's a warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites. They're all available. Book a group outing or party area today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Justin Verlander. He'll be out there tomorrow night against Johnny Danks, going down to Dontrell, and settling down as Miguel Cabrera takes a breaking ball strike. Cabrera hitting at .340, 10 homers, 38 knocked in. Last year's home run champion of the American League.
Talked to Jim Leland about the health of Cabrera, and he said he's okay. He's okay to play.
That's high into right center. Can of corn for JD.
It looks like he's running a whole lot better than he did when he stumbled out of the box in the second game last night, and then went on the grass, took a circuitous route to first base.
Marcus Thames hitting at .296 with a homer. That homer coming last night in a pinch hitting role. Only tally the Tigers put on the board. And the count 0-2. Outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left. He did not go. I'm starting to take that one into right center. And chops that one foul.
If you're going inside, get it way in, and Mark wants to go in there. The cutter is preferable to the fastball.
2-2. Well, from the right-handed hitter standpoint from Mark Burley, that cutter is not a nice pitch to have to hit it. And he gone.
Back to back the changeups, and after he missed with the first one, Timms was probably looking for anything but. He got the change and couldn't check his swing. Watch the bottom fall out of this, and you can even look on the face of Timms going, "Oh my God, 2 in a row." Terrible swing.
Brandon Inge. Brandon at 279, 12 homers. He's driven in 39. 13 for 53 lifetime off Burley as he takes ball 1. And this game is tied at 1. That's his second career home run off Mark.
That was a no-doubter. His 13th, 40th driven in. And now that Inge has moved back to play an everyday third base, he's becoming one of the best players in this league at that position, and he's got some big power. The Ford home run replay, he takes it over the bullpen.
Here's Ryan Rayburn. Takes first pitch, strike. That's the 9th home run that Burley has thrown this year. Last time here at home against these Tigers back on May 6th. Mark had a perfect game through 6 1/3. Before Polanco doubled with 1 out in the 7th. The Sox went on to win that game 6-0. He gone. But a long home run by Brandon Inge after an inning and a half, 1-1. And Stoney, Willis, you got to make him work.
You got to make sure that he gets the ball over the plate, and if you're over anxious, then you're just helping him out. If you wait him out, he probably will walk a few more of the Sox players, and then maybe a long ball is forthcoming. Pierogi. I love him.
Well, prior to the game, they had the Polish dancing ensemble out there, and they were really good, putting on a nice display of Polish polkas.
You remember Sox player Bill Naharodny?
Sure.
I went over his house in Hamtramck, Michigan to have a nice Polish dinner with his family.
Hamtramck, that's where the Pachurik boys are from. As Paul Konerko takes outside. Paulie at 296, 8 homers. He's driven in 37, 2 for 6 with a home run and 3 RBIs in this series. There's the strike.
Dontrelle, originally with the Cubs, was drafted in the 8th round, but never got to the big leagues with them. Came to the big leagues with the Florida Marlins.
When he first joined the Marlins, besides pitching, he could swing the bat a little bit as well.
He could swing it a lot. I mean, he was a devastating force as a hitter. But 22-10 in 2005 with a 2.63 ERA.
Paulie out and around that one, and you got plenty of time.
Well, Paul swung at ball 3. That ball was well off the plate, moving away from him. Sometimes you go out there, you're guessing fastball, you get it, and you really expand your zone. See how far outside that one would have been. Laird was reaching across the plate to try to go get it.
So here's AJ at 298, 5 homers. He's driven in 12. First time AJ has faced Dontrelle Willis. AJ 0 for 3 in the opener yesterday. Sox lost that game 5-4. Tigers did not win it. Sox lost it. And Jose Contreras last night.
And Ozzie let him know in no uncertain terms that that was not acceptable. And Contreras was just out of sight in the second game.
That is shot foul off the tarp.
Those numbers are pretty impressive. Equally as impressive is how many times he threw strike 1. He was ahead of most of the Tigers.
It's good to see the big man back. And that breaking ball, that's low. In the dirt, 1-2.
Well, Hawk, you remember him at his best in 2005. But regardless of how well he does, he's always a real popular guy with his teammates. He's just a good guy.
He's just a good person. I mean, you know, the background he came from, what he's gone through with his family life, it just, if you can't pull for guys like that, then you should go to another profession of some sort.
Well, it's a great story. And his comeback after just a horrendous start, he was 0-5, his ERA up close to 9. Couldn't get anything over the plate. He went down to the minor leagues.
Asked to go down. Asked to go down.
And you were talking about the job they did with him down there, which was critical to him coming back. He could hardly have been any better than he was last night.
No, he's just a good person. And when he's throwing strikes, he happens to be just a good pitcher.
Well, he was throwing splitters from different angles, and when he kept his hand on top of the baseball, it really worked well.
And that's foul. Well, some information on Jared Mitchell, the LSU center fielder, first-round pick, 23rd overall in today's Major League first-year player draft. He's 20 years old, hitting .325, 12 doubles, 4 triples, 9 home runs, 43 RBIs, and 35 stolen bases.
I also like this one, Hawk. Rated by Baseball America as the best athlete and the fastest runner in the draft-eligible college players.
Well, they wanted to target a fast guy, possible leadoff hitter, and a center fielder. And they've done it.
Got a guy with a .471 on base percentage. And another factor is that he's playing a corner outfield for LSU, but he projects as a center fielder in the major leagues. Now, he still has to round out the rough edges, but that's what the development program is for. And you take an athlete, and he was a football player also, who loves the game of baseball. It takes maybe a bit longer, but you know you're getting a great athlete. He'll make the conversion to center field smoothly.
Mitchell says, I am ridiculously excited to join the White Sox.
I like that quote.
I do too. That's low to count 2-2. It's an unbelievable thing to work so hard and to get there, or get here, and be picked by a great organization. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. The 2-2 pitch. AJ just cutting and slashing up there.
Well, AJ's having a terrific at bat. Anything close, he's hacking. And he's fouling off just about everything, so he is indeed making Willis work. There's only one out, and Dontrell's going to deliver his 36th pitch. Here's the 11th pitch of the at bat.
And Willis wins out. 2 down.
This ball is low and out of the zone, and now they're going to check on Dontrell Willis as they go out to have a look at him, because they're not real happy physically with what's happening to him on the mound. It could very well be a knee on that play at the plate. Two pitches, and you can see that it looks like that leg is starting to give out. He's a big man, and on that play at the plate, he might have twisted his knee, and both of those, he came up a little gimpy, and the trainer's trying to talk him into not hurting himself, but Willis adamantly wants to stay in this game.
And let's go back to last year, April 11th.
He was having all kinds of problems getting the ball over the plate, and when his foot went out from under him, he left that game early last season.
So here's Gordon Beckham. Fouls that pitch almost straight back. And the count 0-2.
Well, Gordon won't do it. But if Dontrell stays in this game, and you're Nix or Anderson, and I know it's a cold game, I'd bunt on him. See how good that knee really is.
The 0-2. And there it is, his first major league hit. Dumps it out into right center field. So congratulations and a huge ovation from a beautiful crowd on hand.
And a huge sigh of relief for Gordon Beckham. 0 for 13's enough. And they'll toss the ball out. Kind of interesting, Hawk. The draft is today, and 1 year ago today, Beckham was the #1 draft choice, and here he is with his first major league hit.
Miguel Cabrera giving him a little love right there. He knows what it feels like. And here is Jason Nix with 2 down. Takes first pitch strike.
That ball's low and away and in protection mode because he's got 2 strikes. He just serves it over the head of Polanco.
One and one the count.
Jason's looking for a ball middle in. If he gets it, he's going to hit it out. So far, Dontrell, at least this inning, doesn't have a whole lot on that fastball. He's going to try to keep it away.
To the shortstop, they force Beckham, and that'll retire the side. Now Polanco congratulates Beckham on his first hit. And we'll go to the third, tied at 1. A 1-1 tie. Gerald Laird, Adam Everett, and Curtis Granderson here in the top of the third inning. Takes it high and wide. Laird hitting at .229, a couple of homers. He's driven in 14. There's the strike to even the count. Tomorrow night, Johnny Danks against Justin Verlander in that game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And the count 1-2. On Thursday afternoon, Gavin Floyd against Edwin Jackson.
Both of those guys throwing the ball real well right now, so should be a couple of good matchups.
That's up high.
There are seats still available, so come out and watch the tail end of this homestand. And then it's on the road and interleague play.
Up to Milwaukee for 3. Come back an off day on Monday the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th at Wrigley, and then 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Here you go.
Good changeup by Mark Burley. He had Gerald Laird well out in front of that one. It's about as good as you can throw one. Perfect motion. It dives away out of the zone. And Laird is well out in front.
Here's the 32-year-old veteran shortstop, Adam Everett, at .270, a homer. He's driven in 21. Starts him off with a change. Had him out in front. Got that one up a little bit.
Well, Everett's hit surprisingly well, but his value is defense.
And the count 0-2.
That left side has been just outstanding with Inge and Everett.
And that's fouled back. Get out in front of that one. That curveball a little bit low. 1-2-0 for the Tigers. 1-1-0 for our Sox. Little soft looper. Nix has got that 2 down.
This is your chance to win an A.J. Pierzynski jersey and tell the White Sox what you think. Simply log on your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers are confidential. Visit whitesox.com/survey. You must complete the survey before tonight's game ends. Remember, with Mark Burley pitching, it usually ends fairly quickly.
Anderson struck out on a slow curveball. Softly hit ground ball. And a nice inning for Burley. 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the third, still tied at 1. Sportsnet before and after every game. Join legendary slugger, the Big Hurt Frank Thomas, former Cub, Todd Hollinsworth, and Bill Melton for the best pre- and post-game shows in town. Best coverage of the Crosstown Classic is on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Talked to Bill Melton before the game today. They came out to the ballpark to do the pregame show. Very happy to be here. Temperatures were balmy.
All right, Charlie.
Well, they had those big, heavy coats, too. They look terrific.
I've got my nice, warm Jim Beam Club jacket on.
Handsome jacket.
Yes, it is. Bobby Lanigan. Brian Anderson takes it outside.
Still not a bad idea to bunt it.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay you.
That nobody does it?
7-2. Nobody does it.
Well, if you take a look at Inge, he's 3 steps in back of the bag, and Dontrell's not going to be able to get to this ball.
There's a strike in the count, 1-2. 7-2, and I hope I lose.
As do I, but it won't be here.
One out. Got to bring up Pides. Pides walked, stole second. Went to third on the ground out, and then scored on a wild pitch. So a gift run. First pitch strike. Hinge, even with the bag, off the line at third. Outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left, and they're spread out. Cabrera halfway, a little more than halfway at first. As that pitch fouled away, and they held the count 0-2. Now Hinge will back up.
One of the things you don't want to do if you're Brandon Hinge is get all the way back there at third for the simple reason that on a chopper, even as good as he is at coming and getting it, he's going to be hard pressed to throw out Pides.
Right back. Willis now limping around out there noticeably.
Join the White Sox Volunteer Corps, a team of fans who will work side by side with us in our efforts to make a difference for others. Together we can be a powerful force for change. Please visit whitesox.com/serve Chicago for more details.
So here's Alexei. Swung at ball 4, hit a little nubber out in front of the home plate. Takes strike 1.
Dontrell's out there on almost one leg, and Hinges back at third, and still nothing forthcoming.
That's cued into center field. That's going to be a base hit.
Well, that ball was off the end of the bat, and when Polanco went back, he had no idea it was going to drift to his right. He went back and he reached up. The ball just wasn't there. He turns around. The ball is squibbed off the end of the bat, and you can see him just kind of swat at it, seeing if he can come up with it.
So now good speed. Alexei 9 for 11 in stolen bases, and here's Jermaine, who grounded out to Polanco. Takes low ball 1. Top of the 7th down in Florida. Cardinals and the Marlins tied at 3. Milwaukee leading Colorado 2-0. That game in the 4th up at Miller Park. And there's a strike, 1-1 to JD. Rockies on a 5-game winning streak into St. Louis and just blew the Cardinals away.
They played unbelievably well in that series. It really shows you that the Cardinals have a whole lot of holes in a team that's still in contention. National League Central pretty much up for grabs, with Milwaukee leading by just 2 in the loss column over the Cubs.
Well, there's not a team, as that is ball 3 to Jermaine. 3-1 to count. I don't know about the National League, but there's not a team in the American League that doesn't have holes, and I'm sure Dodgers are playing like one that doesn't have, but I'm sure they do as well.
Well, they have some, but they're going to get Manny Ramirez back, and then they're going to wave bye-bye to that division.
As there's a strike, so the count goes full. Every team in the East has got them. Every team in the Central certainly has got them.
That's why I think, Hawk, after this draft, and everybody's been immersed in that as far as the organizations are concerned, we're going to see some pretty substantial deals being made.
Well, I think it'll be just a little bit later, maybe 3 or 4 weeks later. They're going to be as there goes, Alexi. I think there are too many clubs that still believe, even though they're 6 or 7 games back, still believe they're in it. I mean, that's right now the psyche of the culture. There are too many teams that still believe they're in it. And some of the teams that believe they're in it have got no chance.
Well, there's a lot of teams that are still in it because of the nature of all of these teams. Well, but yeah, financial constraints also. But Baltimore's not going to win it, and I have a hard time understanding what Aubrey Huff is still doing there, George Sherrill is still doing there. Baltimore's 10 games back in the East. They're not going to catch New York or Boston. They've lost 5 in a row, and eventually Andy McPhail's going to figure out that he can't always make an Eric Bedard deal and get 175% for 100.
That's way outside ball 4. So that'll bring up Big Jim Thome with 2 down, 2 on. Thome struck out his first trip, and he's had a tough time against Dontrell Willis. In 26 at bats, he has 4 hits.
Well, they have to play him a little differently because Inge can't play a straightaway shortstop because you have Ramirez at second. And that's what Gene Lamond is pointing to when he looked out at Inge. He's positioning him and he's saying don't move to shortstop because Ramirez might take off.
Big rip by Thome. Long look in now. Now Willis then. Start again. And that's low. I was driving home last night listening to the Oakland game. They're on a 7-game winning streak, and they think they're back in it now.
Well, they're playing real well, and we saw their starting pitching, and it's for real, as is that kid at the tail end of their bullpen, Bailey.
Ground ball right to Polanco. Picks it up, throws him out, and that'll retire the side and the thread. We'll go to the 4th. It is still 1-1.
Who was the last Tiger pitcher to win 20 games in a season?
First pitch strike to Plaso Polanco, who is 1 for 1, laced a single. A line drive down the left field line. Good pitch. Second. Nice play.
Real good play by Gordon because he came in and he didn't allow the ball to play him. He smothered the short hop. And Mark Burley with a smile on his face. See him come in, choose the hop he wanted, and then fire it across and get Polanco.
Well, when you're going to do that, you got to put your glove low and keep it there. And that's exactly what he did. Mags hit into a 4-6-3 double play his first trip. '35-year-old veteran hitting at .282 as he stands up there at the dish in a count of 3-0. There's one. And there's ball 4.
If you can't watch your White Sox on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games a week live on your computer. For more details, visit WhiteSox.com, where baseball is always on.
Miguel Cabrera will stand in. He's 0 for 1, went out to Jermaine Dye. He's just a short lead. Change up strike.
Cabrera is a really good man for 2. He leads the team, grounding into 9 double plays. Factor in a bad hamstring and let him hit a ground ball.
That's in on him. Just muscles it out there to left field. Pides broke back, now comes on. And that's out number 2. That's the fact is the rule. He usually hits the ball hard. When you hit the ball hard and you can't run, you're going to hit into some double play.
He hits the ball real hard.
Tim struck out on a good changeup. Takes first pitch strike. Kansas City leading Cleveland 4-3. That game in the bottom of the 6th, that Progressive Field. There's the strike. Curveball.
It was actually heads-up base running because as soon as that ball dipped in the dirt, Ordonez was off and going. To do this, you have to get a decent secondary lead, which he does. And as soon as the ball's in the dirt, he realized that AJ looking down couldn't locate it. It was still close enough because Mags really doesn't run all that well anymore.
Now, when Mags first joined us, first 5 or 6 years he was in the Sox uniform, he was a good base runner. He had good speed, good instincts on the base paths. And then towards the end there, the last couple of 3 years he was with us, he just more or less shut it down.
He was just a great hitter and a great player overall. But that knee injury, knee surgery, took a lot away from him.
That's muscled out into left field right at Pides. He's there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. Totals on the board after 3.5 identical at 1-2-0.
Who was the last Tiger pitcher to win 20 games in a season? And the answer, Bill Gullickson. Way back in 1991, he was 20-9.
Joliet.
Drafted by Montreal out of Joliet, was a terrific pitcher for a long time.
So here's Konerko. Paulie grounded out to Brandon Inge at third. Paulie now 1 for 3 lifetime off Dontrell Willis. Takes downstairs, ball 1. Top of the 7th down in Florida. Angels leading Tampa Bay 3-2. And there's the strike, says Jim Joyce. Cubs leading Houston 5-0. Bottom of the 3rd. Down at Minute Maid. 2-1 to count. Dontrell thought he had that one.
Well, Paul expanded his strike zone last time. That's pretty unusual for him. I don't think that he'll do it again. He's going to make Dontrell throw him strikes this time.
Breaking ball. Last thing Paulie was looking for. And the count evens at 2.
That's because Dontrell, to a right-hander, hasn't thrown one yet. And that was a good one. He's trying to convince himself to get him out.
Well, he just wants to throw every pitch with conviction. So the payoff pitch.
And Brian Runge, of course, throws up his hands. I think it's enough to ring him up and save the histrionics. That one looked like Paulie checked it up.
He did check it up.
And the appeal to Runge at first. Paulie's down on strikes.
So here's AJ after a lengthy at bat. He went down on strikes. How's that breaking ball away?
And Dontrell Willis had his big year, and it wasn't all that long ago. At 22-10 in 2005, he completed 7 games and threw 5 shutouts.
Yeah, I saw him a couple of times that year on TV, and he absolutely looked like he was unhittable, especially from a left-handed hitting standpoint.
He had everything you'd want and a real deceptive move. He was all arms and legs. I think hitters probably saw the ball 50 feet. I don't think they picked it up for a long time. Fortunately, AJ picked up that one because it was up and in.
1-1 pitch. Ate him up, broke his bat. And they get there in time. 2 down.
Come out to U.S. Cellular Field on Friday, June 26th, as Miller Lite gives one lucky fan the chance to pitch for $1 million. Miller Lite, the ultimate light beer.
Now Laird and AJ having some words. And Willis coming in.
Well, Burley's out there laughing, and AJ just said to Dontrell Willis, I don't think you threw at me.
He looked at him like he did. And Willis glanced back at him after it happened.
Well, now things get a little heated. Gene Lamont trying to settle down Dontrell Willis.
It looked like Laird. Maybe Willis said something at first. Let's check it out and see.
AJ trying to beat it out. Now he is out at first base.
That's when Laird picked it up and started coming in.
It's Laird who
instigated it.
And AJ is telling Dontrell right there, I'm not talking to you. I think Laird started that personally.
Well, he's the one that picked it up coming in from first base after the play was made on the out of Pierzynski. Just a little hijinks from the boys. Nothing serious.
Well, AJ gets beat at first base by a half step and says something to Polanco.
Now Laird at this point is going over to AJ.
AJ would never agitate anybody.
Well, look at that halo over the top of his head.
He is very angelic.
Cherubic.
Yeah, that too.
AJ. I've been watching him since he was a sophomore in high school. He hadn't changed a bit.
Nope.
As Beckham hits this ball into center field, deep on the track. So Gordon, who picked up his first major league hit in the second inning, flies out deep to center, and we're still tied at 1. It'll be Inge, Rayburn, and Laird here in the top of the 5th inning.
Identical line score so far. It's been an errorless game. Talking with Jim Leyland before the game, he was talking about his team's defense overall. He said they've been pretty good, as has our pitching, and I believe they pretty much go hand in hand.
Inge homered his 13th. Takes ball 1. Off the corner, 2-0. Inge now 14 for 54 lifetime off Burley with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Well, I did a little, almost a scissor stride right there. Grabbed the strike, turned it over. And the count 3-1. Gap out there in right center. So the leadoff walk. And here's Ryan Rayburn. Called out on a fastball strike to end the second inning.
Rayburn taking a long look down at Gene Lamont at third base. As these Tigers have faced Mark Burley a whole lot, and they know how good his move is. So they're not going to take too many liberties at first.
All right, 14-8 against this club with a 2.86 ERA in his career. Close pitch right there. A couple of close pitches in that Inge sequence as well. Jim Joyce didn't give him. That's a strike, my man. That is not too high. And he goes across that plate. Inge is 1 for 5 in the stolen base category.
I don't think he's going anywhere, and the only way he would be running would be on a hit and run.
There's a bunt. That's a good one. Burley's got a lot of spin on it, and they don't get him. So trouble of brewing after the leadoff walk.
Mark Burley's a pretty good fielder. This turned out to be a great bunt. Even though he pops it in the air, he doesn't pop it up far enough for Burley to get to it, and it just dies. Mark actually went behind him and didn't get Rayburn to first base.
So here, Paulie grass at first. Beckham will be there. He's right at the cut right now. Yeah, that ball had so much spin on it, it just killed it.
The situation here, if Mark Burley charges toward the line, they might get him. On that play, Beckham was charging straight in. That meant that Burley would be charging straight in. This is a real good time for a pickoff play at second base.
A real good time for the wheel play.
You see it here with Beckham coming forward. That means Burley charges straight.
Only one problem, we don't use the wheel play. There it is right there. Good. They still didn't get it as the ball was killed out there. So the sacrifice works. It's the first time we used that play all year. That's good to see.
Watch it again and watch where the defense goes. Beckham comes in. Burley charges straight ahead. And it's an easy out at first, but 2 bunts forces the infield in at all 4 positions.
Adam Everett out in front of that one. Outfield slightly to the left. And that's a fair ball by the drawn in infield, and that's going to score a pair. So the leadoff walk comes around the score, the bunt comes around the score, and it's 3-1 Detroit. Leadoff walk will eat your lunch.
Leadoff walk and 2 good bunts. This is a cutter, and with Beckham well off the line, He can't get there.
Leadoff walk will eat your lunch. It's amazing how many times that leadoff walk comes around, especially in the middle to the end of the ball game to score. As Curtis Granderson has struck out and grounded to second.
RBIs 22 and 23 for Adam Everett.
Last year with Minnesota, Everett drove in 20 runs. And the count 3-0 to Granderson. The dreaded leadoff walk. That's hit into right field. Everett not going anywhere. So 2 down. And here's Polanco. He has singled and he has grounded to third. 3-4-0 for the Tigers, 1-2-0 for our Sox.
Good straight change by Mark Burley. Or Polanco, who started his career with the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's just a hard strike right there. And the count 0-2. Polanco is a good player. Holds a major league record. Consecutive errorless games at second base.
Jim Joyce called this one up.
And there's a little blooper and caught by Nix. But the leadoff walk jumps up and bites Mark Burley halfway home. It is 3-1 bad guys. Leadoff walk to end. It's a bunt single by Rayburn. Sacrifice bunt by Laird. And the 2-run single by Adam Everett. So it'll be Jason Nix, Brian Anderson, then back to the top of the order with Scotty Pides. Jason takes ball 1 high and wide. Makes it into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the second inning. Out and around and into the hole. That's going to be a base hit.
And Everett saw his glove come off, trying to make that play. Then he took a tumble. Now take a look at this one, and you'll watch what a good defensive shortstop does occasionally. And that is step on his own glove. Not recommended.
So we get the leadoff man aboard. That ball hit hard into left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. It's out of here. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. 2-run shot off the bat of Brian Anderson. And this game is tied at 3.
Line drive rocket to left center field. The second of the year for Brian. He's driven in 8. It's a brand new ball game, and the Ford home run replay. Ryan got one out over the plate and drives it out of the park. He was complaining about the great plays from Brandon Inge last night. He hit it where Inge couldn't make the play that time.
So here's Pides. Strike 1, says Joyce. So Jim and Kathy Canatero and Kerry McDonald's pick to click. Brian Anderson, a 2-run homer. Pides just slaps at that, and the count 0-2.
Brian is telling Jermaine he's sneaking up on him with every home run.
That's flipped out into left field. It's going to fall right in front of Rayburn. So a good piece of woodwork right there by Scotty Pides.
He was in protection mode, and Dontrell got that ball away. And when you're not over swinging, you get these kind of hits. It's a good slider. The ball is low and out of the zone. It's a good pitch when you're ahead of the hitter. And Posednik just reaches out, dumps it in front of Rayburn. Well, things getting interesting here in the 5th. The bullpen now starts to stir and is throwing for the Tigers.
Here's Alexei. Takes ball 1. Alexei is 1 for 2. Outfield spread out slightly to the left. And the count 2-0 with Jermaine Dye, the on-deck hitter.
It's Zach Miner. We saw him for 2 innings in last night's game. Gave up a hit, struck out 1, and no runs.
Breaking ball on the 2-0 count, misses. Don't help him out, Alexei. There's one. Don't help him out.
Well, it is tough to walk Alexei. He's walked 13 times in 205 at-bats.
And he's
14.
Made it 14 now. Third walk issued by Willis. He walked Pods to lead off the bottom of the first. He walked JD in the third, and now Alexei.
I think they're going to kill some time for Minor to loosen up. Rick Knapp comes out to have a word with him.
Well, they really don't have to at this juncture. They can go out there and have a medical and take him out, and Minor can get all he wants.
It's true. But that same medical, the one thing that you could make a case if you're Ozzy is you've been out there 3 times to talk with him. You didn't take him out any other time. So we're not going to give you that medical.
I don't think that Joyce would.
You don't think he would do that?
No, I think he would give it to him. As much as Dontrell has been limping around out there today.
Boy, well, there's no doubt, but he's been out there on a leg and a half the entire game.
I applaud him for that. He's trying.
Well, he didn't want to come out of the game. I mean, he was emphatic that he wanted to stay in the game.
Yeah, he talked himself back into staying. As that the breaking ball strike to Jermaine. Jermaine has grounded to second and walked. Two on, nobody out. 2 in. Game tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Now Jermaine's got to cinch it up and hunker down.
And the same situation holds true here if Dontrell tries to bury another slider in the dirt. Sednick out at second is going to get a decent secondary lead.
Polanco. Pretty good pitch by Willis right there, and good job just to fight it off by Jermaine. He's got 2 right now, just going in that short stroke mode, which he can do.
A couple of big men going head to head. Dontrell Willis 6'4", about 240. Jermaine a touch taller, maybe not quite as heavy.
And that's slicing. That's going to be in the seats. Of course, with that home run by Brian Anderson, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 61, so $6,100 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula. Good check. So 1-2 the count to Jermaine Dine with Tomey on deck and Konerko in the hole. Willis accepts the sign from Laird. And that's another souvenir. That's just out of the reach of the LG Skyline Club seats.
Abram's got a pretty good arm in left field. In fact, for a left fielder, it's a plus arm. Maggs' arm used to be a whole lot better in right, but Jeff Cox will most likely run on him.
Ground ball, Polanco, Everett, rack him up. Nice double play started by Placido Polanco. And quickly there's 2 out.
Well, watch Everett come across the bag, and he comes across under control. Polanco goes to his left, makes a good solid throw, and Everett gets out of the way and makes sure that Ramirez can't get a piece of him. Well wide of the bag, and if Ramirez does go after him, it's going to be interference when you're that far away from second.
So here's Tomey. Jimmy is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first and grounded to second in the third. Polanco back out there in short right field. Outfield spread out as he takes strike one. Did not check it up. And the count 0-2. Come on, Jimmy. Good two-strike hitter, buddy. Just off the corner. You're just tuning in. Dontrelle Willis' right knee has just been giving him all kinds of problems tonight. I think you hit it on the head, Stoney, when you talk about that play at the plate. May have just absolutely flared it up.
Well, I think he certainly twisted it, laid there for a bit, got up, and he convinced both Jim Leland and Rick Knapp that, along with the trainer, that he wanted to stay in the game.
The 1-2, and that's high.
I would have to think that one way or the other, this is going to be his last inning if he gets through this one, because he's still hobbling around as you look at Rick Knapp. They're going to have 6 starting pitchers, and they're going to have to make a decision between Bonderman and Willis as to who's going to be the 5th starter.
Good take right there. Full count with Konerko on deck.
I'd be real surprised if he didn't get Tomey if Leland leaves him in the game.
Ball 4 base hit right here. And that's ball 4.
That one missed well wide. Jim Leland just shaking his head. Apparently he's going to go with him. This might be the one decision that cost him the ball game.
Paulie is 0 for 2. He's grounded to third and on a very questionable, which he did not go. Check swing. He was called out. Now feel straight up, spread out. Breaking ball misses. Two out, runners at the corners. And the count 2-0.
Good stop by Laird.
Yes, it was.
As the go-ahead run could have scored easily that time as Willis swept that slider. Blowing inside. Watch it again. Good pick. It's kind of funny because Willis went out. He was giving signs to the infield what they were supposed to do if Tomey takes off at first. I think first we would feint.
And the count 3-0. with Pierzynski on deck.
Paulie's been our best with runners in scoring position. There are the numbers, and he's been good all year.
Turn him loose right here.
Left-hander on deck? Absolutely. Anybody on deck? Absolutely.
So back-to-back walks will load him up. And here comes A.J.
Dontrelle looking at his hat where he has probably some sort of affirmation. And Gerald Laird now, I'm pretty sure what he's telling him is forget what happened last time up because you got a bigger goal here. That's to try to get this guy out. From AJ's standpoint, he'd like nothing more than to do a little damage to Dontrelle Willis and put the Sox on top.
AJ struck out his first trip, grounded to second. Last inning. Sacks packed with Sox. 2 down. Takes it right there. And very quickly, A.J. in the hole, the big hole, 0-2. That first one, you'd like to have back.
Well, this is another situation where sweeping sliders wind up in the dirt.
There's a chopper and just foul.
That's one of the few that Inge hasn't handled. That ball was just foul called by Bill Miller. And he's standing right on the line, so he gets a good look at this. Remember, it's where it crosses the bag, not where it hits after the bag.
It was a foul ball. Come on, 12. And that's outside.
You saw Laird pound the ground as if to convince AJ that it was going to be a breaking ball down in the dirt. AJ, a fellow catcher, of course, has seen that trick before. Watch him.
Broken bat. Willis makes the play. Gets him at first base. A good job by Cabrera staying on the bag, and what a nice play by Dontrelle Willis. But the 2-run homer by Brian Anderson will go to the 6th, tied at 3.
Willis gets the throw off and keeps the score tied at 3.
Meanwhile, Maggs hits the first pitch down to Gordon Beckham, so 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning in this 3-3 tie. So here's Cabrera going out to right, and he's going out to left. That was a heck of a play Willis made right there,
Well,
especially on one knee.
He's got no legs under him, so he doesn't have mobility, and yet at that last lunge and from a prone position, he was able to make the play. I got to figure that's going to be it for him.
That's some kind of gutsy performance by Dontrell Willis tonight.
Well, tonight was a night where he didn't have particularly good stuff, and he battled them to a draw, at least to this point.
The 1-2 pitch to Cabrera towards the end of the bat.
He reached out with his throwing hand, managed to get it out from under his body, and then a lunging Cabrera able to keep his foot on the bat.
Well, if you don't have a 6'4" pitcher and a 6'4" first baseman, that play's not going to be made. So, first pitch misses to Marcus Thames. Thames has struck out and gone out to left. 3-4-0 for their guys, 3-5-0 for our guys. That's down and in. Third of this 5-game series tomorrow night. Johnny Danks against Justin Verlander, who has been lights out in his last 8 starts. There's the strike. So make your plans to be with us here at beautiful US Cellular Field. If you can't, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Out and around it, Beckham runs it over. Nice inning, 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 3.
Fine. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And Zach Miner comes into the game. So the night is done for Dontrell Willis. Miner at 3-1, a 5.0 ERA. Pitched a couple of innings last night. right-handers have hit him much better than left-handers. And with a batting average of .308 against him, that means you've given up considerably more hits than innings pitched. In his case, 45 hits in 36 innings. And so the game now belongs to him in this 3-3 tie.
And here's Gordon Beckham. He is 1 for 2. He is singled and fly deep to center field, taking Granderson back on the track. Breaking ball strike. Fastball on the outside corner very quickly, 0-2. Nix on deck, and Brian Anderson in the hole. One and two the count. Yeah, that's one of the gutsier performances we've seen this year.
Especially when a pitcher has to argue with his trainer, his manager, and his pitching coach to stay in the game. And Dontrell certainly wanted to stay in the game.
That breaking ball popped up. Mags. One out.
Willis tonight, 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits, 5 walks, including 3 in the 5th inning, but a double play off the bat of Jermaine Dye helped him out of that one. And 3 strikeouts, and his night is over.
There's Jason Nix. He started off that 2-run 5th with a single in the hole. Want to know the count. And he's got the catbird seat. Get you a good one right here. 5. Front, hooks it, and the count 2-1.
Minor has started 34 major league games and was traded over along with Ramon Colon from Atlanta, exchanged for Kyle Farnsworth back on July 31st of 2005. Last year, 8-5 for these Tigers, 13 starts, 45 appearances, so he worked out of the bullpen and the rotation.
He made a good start against us over at their place. Ball hit right to the shortstop. Adam Everett sucks it up, and that is out number 2. That'll bring up Brian. He's 1 for 2. That 2-run homer is 2nd of the season to tie this thing up. And if you miss that home run, poof. Just a line shot. Screaming Mimi out of here.
Didn't make it by much, but it made it by enough.
And there's a breaking ball strike. Outfield straight up, spread out. Another breaking ball. So 3 in a row to Brian, and the count 2-1. There's a shot. Just fouled. That guy.
Well, Brian worked him into a situation where he was going to throw a fastball. He hit it awfully hard, but unfortunately hooked it foul.
So a full count. The Scotty Pod's on deck. Ball 4 base hit right here, Brian. Got him. 1-2-3 inning for Zach Miner, and we're into the 7th.
Stand.
Yes, it has been. Very much so. Well, we've just played bad baseball. And thank goodness for the performance of Jose Contreras last night. As there's first pitch strike to Brandon Inge, who has homered, he has walked, and he has scored twice. He led off that 2-run 5th for the base on balls. Yeah, when you're at home for 12 games in 11 days like our schedule, you look your chops coming into it. And so far, the only thing we've been looking is not our chops.
Well, but we did turn around Oakland's season. As they came in, lost the first game of the series, and they haven't lost since.
7-game winning streak. So here's that leadoff walk again to Brandon Inge. The dreaded leadoff walk.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Leyland does the same thing with Rayburn. And although you could use the hit and run, 2 bunts in a row last time led to a couple of runs.
Well, Ozzie said in his pregame press conference, he started last night, yesterday I should say, to bring the bunting machine out in between games for our guys.
Well, tonight was a guaranteed base hit night for a bunt, and they didn't bunt at all on a guy with a leg and a half.
7-2 you had.
Yeah, wouldn't take it though. I've usually learned below these many years, when someone proposes a bet to you, don't take it too often.
Rayburn called out on strikes. Didn't give any indication. He was just looking at that first pitch, and when the throw over there right there gave no indication on what he was going to do. Didn't break it down at all. Again,
Well, this is where in the middle infield you really have to know what Krasinski's going to call. Because if you're going to call a cutter inside, then Nix has got to cover at second because the ball's going to be pulled. But if you're going to stay away, Nix has got to stay home. Now Burley having some problems with his control, and AJ going out to talk with him.
The next pitch will be number 90 for Mark.
Don Cooper getting the bullpen going.
Very uncharacteristic of Mark Burley to walk the leadoff man twice in the same guy. Besides that, there's a shot. Get fouled. It will. Thank you very much.
That one didn't miss by much as Rayburn on a 2-0 fastball turned on it and fortunately got out an eyelash too quick. Watch it again. Is this ball hooking? Bill Miller on the call. That one didn't miss by much. That looked a lot like Roland Garros. Remember him?
Yeah, he was a left-hander with a good lob.
Octavio Dotel loosening up. Of course, Roger Federer just won the French Open on the red clay of Roland Garros.
First time. Yep. Meanwhile, we got our problems right here with a 2-1 count and the leadoff man aboard. And at bunt now, fakes it. And the count goes to 3-1.
Well, if you're Jim Leland and you've got confidence that Rayburn's going to make some contact, it's a good time to run. If you're Mark Burley, it's a good time to show Inge your best move at first base.
Back-to-back walks. Wow.
Now you're going to see a bunt from Laird. And now we'll see what the wheel play is. And what Gordon Beckham does is he looks into the dugout to see what play is on. Then he flashes the signs to the infielders and usually verbally tells the pitcher if he wants him to charge toward the line, if he's going to hang back, or if he wants him to charge straight in.
Well, we put the wheel play on last time in this situation. First time we've done it all year. And because Inge is quick and a good base runner, couldn't get it done. There goes, no. As there's a strike. Alexei broke like he was going to go to third. Beckham held his ground, and Alexei just straightened up and stopped. Big spot in this ball game right here in top of the seventh. Another good bunt by Laird. Other clubs make it look so easy.
If you work at it, it is.
Well, we work at it. We just can't do it. Other clubs make it look so easy. And it's certainly not because our guys don't put the time in. When the time comes, though, they can't execute it.
Here comes Ozzie. I would think that's going to be it. And it is.
Boy, you don't see Mark Burley do that. Back-to-back walks here in the top of the seventh in the tie game. The lead started off and then walked the leadoff man back in the fifth when they scored.
The first 25,000 fans in attendance at each home game will receive a Dick's Sporting Goods game card redeemable for $10 off your purchase of $50 or more. So Octavio Dotel comes in. He's being informed by Jim Joyce that he can breathe into his hands because it is a very cool night. And Octavio's had a real good year. He's 1-1, ERA 2.29, and for the 25th time, 23 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings. Now, you have to be aware of the fact that Adam Everett is probably the best bunter in this league. He's got 7 sacrifices. He's a tremendous handler of the bat. And he have decent speed at third in Brandon Inge. He's also a good base runner. So let's see how Jim Leyland wants to work this.
Infield in. Runners at second, third, ducks on the pond, 1 out. And that is fouled away right side. I'll tell you what, Adam Everett feeling pretty good about himself at the plate.
And well, he should, because he's hitting up over 270. He's driven in 2 of the 3 Tiger runs tonight.
Well, if you'd asked Detroit if they would have taken 23 RBIs on June 9th from Adam Everett.
Yeah. With his glove, yes.
Get foul. It will. Thank you very much.
Well, we've caught a couple of breaks this inning because that was the second time in the inning that the line drive just missed. That's another 2-run double, but for a very small margin.
0-2 the count to the 32-year-old veteran shortstop.
Good curveball here, probably ends this one.
One and two the count. He gone. Big strikeout for Dotel.
Throws a high fastball and throws it right by Everett. This guy doesn't strike out all that much, but he threw it right by him. And now Ozzie goes out. There's nobody loosening up in the pen, and he's saying you got first base open, Granderson up.
And then you got one of the best contact men on the planet on deck.
Well, that's one of the reasons why you don't just automatically walk Granderson. But with a lot of left-handers in your bullpen,
3 out.
He's trusting this to Dotel to get out of the inning.
Anderson 0 for 3. A 3-3 tie, 2 out. Ducks on the pond. And the count 2-0. Anderson 13 homers, 35 RBIs. And Polanco waiting to hit with the bases loaded.
Well, now you might as well just put him on and not even risk throwing one away.
And here comes Polanco to hit with the bases loaded.
we'll take a look at this sequence. We're going to take a look at the sequence to Polanco when it wends its way through.
Polanco is 1 for 3. A solid single back in the first inning. He has faced Gotel 9 times. There's ball 1. And has 1 hit. They have the bases loaded and they don't have a hit to center. That ball slicing, and they can't get there. That's going to score 3. All 3 walks are going to cross the plate. And they lead at 6-3. One of the best contact hitters on the planet.
Gotel throws a fastball right down the middle, and Polanco 2 inches up on the back, hits it by Anderson. Has no shot at this one. RBIs 22, 23, and 24.
So here's Mags. 3 runs on 1 hit so far. Next will suck it up, throw him out, but the damage is done. All 3 walks have come around and scored. 7th inning stretch, and we got a big problem.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and Cleet Thomas takes over in right field. Sox have a long way back, and they start with the top of the order, and Scott Posetnik, who's 1 for 2 with a walk.
And he takes ball 1. (6-3). They scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th with 1 hit, 3 walks, and then a bases loaded double.
It's Bobby C. loosening up in the bullpen in case Minor has any problems. He undoubtedly is getting ready for Tomey if this inning stays alive to that point.
Off the end of the bat. 1 out.
Enjoy pregame tailgating with the White Sox Tailgate Party Pads. Treat your group of 20 to 60 fans to a private party area conveniently located outside the Gate 2 ballpark entrance. Bring your own food or have it catered by the White Sox. Call 312-674-1000.
So here's Alexei. He's 1 for 2. Outfield straight up, spread out. We have had a lot of 2 and especially 3-run innings against us where they've only had 1 hit in the last few weeks.
Set up by walks. But it's most unusual for Mark Burley because
you never see that from Mark.
I was going to say it's nothing that I can remember.
You never see that. It's just one of those things that happened tonight. Meanwhile, 2 down. So you can bet your house, your kids, and your car on that. Here's Jermaine. Jermaine is grounded to second, walked, and then hit into a 4-6-3 double play. It's coming right at him. Strike 1.
Detroit entered tonight second in the league in pitching behind Seattle, third in the league in defense, right behind Toronto.
I tell you, it's gotten to the point with me that outside of Miguel Cabrera, I'd rather see anybody in the lineup up there in that situation with the exception of Placido Polanco. He's going to make contact. He's going to put the bat on the ball, and chances are he's going to put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Well, that's what he's got left is the barrel when you consider that how short that bat is and where he chokes up to. And this is a guy that's hit 300 the last couple of years, and I'm pretty sure he's going to wind up at 300 this year.
Well, as I said yesterday, he's got his hands closer to the barrel than anybody in this league. Got his hands closer to the barrel than anybody in this league. Two and 2. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the 8th. as Miguel Cabrera will lead it off here in the top of the 8th. He is 0 for 3. He's going out to right, to left, and grounded to short. 26-year-old slugger. Slugger plus just an outstanding hitter. He's got the whole spectrum covered.
Well, he's got one spot you can get him out, and that's inside, but you have to go in off the plate. And if he doesn't swing at that, it's usually a ball, but that's the one place he has been swinging, and that's the one place you can get him.
Breaking ball, 1 out. Now Cooperstown is filled with guys who in 7th, 8th, and 9th inning had trouble with the fastball inside. Great hitters want the ball out over the plate. That's the reason they're great hitters. And they try to work you into it. As I said last evening, they created their own strike zone, and especially in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Now they can't do it quite as much today as they did in those days, only because of the fact of the issue of the relief pitchers. Starters not going today 9 innings or 8 innings where you had a shot at 4 at bats against them. That is fair ball. And
Fan grabbed it. It's going to be 2 bases.
Ground rule double. Fan interference.
Instead of low and away, this one up and in, and this ball stays fair.
If he hits it a little harder, it goes foul. Hit it towards the end of the bat.
Well, the big difference in this game has been 3 successful bunts. 2 of them sacrifices, 1 for a base hit.
Well, the big difference in the game has been the leadoff walks.
And walks, yes.
It allowed the bunts to be critical. And this guy has 2 of them. He started off the 5th with a leadoff walk. They scored twice. He started off last inning with a leadoff walk, and they put 3 on the board. So those leadoff walks have led to 5 runs.
That big head-to-head series in Boston, the Red Sox shut out the Yankees 7-0.
There's a strike. The Yankees, I don't think, have beaten the Red Sox this year.
Well, the one guy that's really killed the Yankees has been Jason Bay. He's the guy that's been doing the job against the Yankees. Been doing it against a lot of people, but especially against the Yankees.
I remember the one he got Mariano at Fenway.
He can turn on it.
2-2 the count.
Jimmy Gobble up in the pen.
He gone. Meanwhile, two down.
And if you missed it earlier today, Sox brought up former first-round draft choice, young, hard-throwing left-hander Aaron Pareda, and disabled Bartolo Colon.
Here's Raymond. He had one of those bunts that Steve was talking about. Back in the 5th inning.
That's what happened before tonight's game. Pareda used as a starter in Double-A.
Ball gets away. Timms just didn't read it. Tough read for him. Rayburn also walked last inning after Inge led it off with a walk. So back-to-back leadoff walks. And later on, they were going around Curtis Granderson, walked him, and then the 2-out bases clearing double by Polanco. Six, 6-0 for the Tigers. 3-5-0 for our Sox. Pretty good rip by Rayburn. Say they got Rayburn and a guy that I really like. Hadn't seen that much of him, but what we have. That Clete Thomas could swing the bat. He goes through the ball. He turns through the ball just about as well as anybody you want to see.
They're having a hard time getting him consistent at bats, but what we've seen, he's got big power as a left-hand hitter to left center field.
Nice block by AJ.
There's a look at Clete Thomas, who came into this one defensively in right field.
Boy, he can turn through that ball. 25 years old. Big rip.
Cabrera just sitting back, relaxing. And that is a heating pad under that left hamstring.
Payoff pitch. High into left field. That's a can of corn. And that'll do it. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We got 6 outs. You get 3 to tie.
Friends provide first-class service while enjoying White Sox baseball. Reserve a Diamond Suite today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details. And Bobby C comes into the game, informed by Jim Joyce that he can blow into his hand. C at 0-1, ERA just under 5, on for the 25th time. And normally, when you see Jim Thome, you see Bobby C.
Big Jim 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Breaking ball misses. Konerko on deck. Pierzynski in the hole. And the count 2-0. And the count 3-0.
Joel Zumaya loosening quickly in the pen.
That didn't take long. Good way to start it right here. Paulie's 0 for 2 with a walk. Come on, Paulie. There's a strike. The 1 pitch. That's into left center field. Got in on him. So that is out number 1. And here comes AJ. AJ has struck out, grounded to second, and grounded back to Dontrell Willis, who made a really good play on him to get him at first with 2 out and the bases loaded. Good play by Cabrera as well. So a couple of Florida boys right here. AJ from Orlando and C from Sarasota. He just missed that one. He just missed it. High. Pete Thomas makes the catch.
Our Dodge drive of the game came early in this one. In fact, it came in the second inning. Came in the form of a single to right center field, the first major league hit for Gordon Beckham. That's going to be it for Bobby C. And in comes Joel Zumaya.
All right. Zumaya comes on and we'll be back.
Down for the 16th time. We're going to see if Gordon Beckham can turn on some big heat.
He's 1 for 3 tonight. That one at 98. He singled back in the second for his first major league hit, then went deep, taking Granderson back on the track in the 4th, and then went out to right field, leading off the 6th.
Gordon's not going to catch up to it up and in. He might catch up to it out over the plate.
Third ball. And the count 1-1.
This one hung, and Gordon was hanging in there, just backing out of the way of it.
Well outside. That one at 97. Up and in again, and the count 2-2. I would imagine in Gordon's college career, he has faced guys that threw as hard, if not harder, than Zumaya.
I don't think many, but maybe the occasional guy.
Right, yeah. Ball gets away. So Tomey into second, and a full count to Beckham.
I think that's a pass ball on the part of Laird. We'll have to take a look at it. And it is indeed a pass ball. He was expecting it outside. He just missed it. And I don't know if Gordon ever ran into San Diego State, but if he did, he faced Steven Strasburg most likely. His fastball was 100, 101 miles an hour. That's the guy that went #1 to the Washington Nationals today.
Ball 4 base hit, Gordon. Jason Nix on deck. That could be a strike, buddy. And that's ball 4. Good at bat for Beckham.
Laird going out there now to talk with Zumaya. Rick Knapp on the run to talk to Zumaya. And it's going to be Chris Getz, and that's what Knapp is telling him about, as Fernando Rodney gets loosened up. That's the closer for these Tigers. Rodney with 11 saves. And Getz is going to hit for Nix.
So the tying run at the plate. 6-3 bad guys here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Drops the hook on him. Another hook. And this one misses. 1-1 to count to Getz.
Chris, look fastball here. If you get the hook, it's going to be tough to hit anyway. So you got to figure you're not going to see 3 in a row. And that got Laird right in the left shoulder. He's not wearing that extended pad over the left shoulder. He's wearing it over the right shoulder. Now, it's been a tough enough day behind the plate. And then you get one of these. Ooh.
That got him right above the bicep. Goes with the territory.
That will leave a large mark.
It'll say Allen Bud Seeley tomorrow morning. Third ball. Zumaya where he's supposed to be, and that'll do it. We have a couple of walks. Threatened, can't score. We're into the ninth, trailing by 3. White Sox postgame live. You'll see all the highlights, get Bill Melton's analysis, plus listen in on Ozzie Guillen's postgame remarks. Don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Chris Getz remains in the ball game at second base.
And Jimmy Gobble comes into the game for the 9th time. ERA an even 7.
Gerald Laird takes outside. Takes inside. 2-0 the count. 29-year-old catcher. 6 runs on 6 hits for them, 3 runs on 5 hits for us. As that's down to Beckham, sucks it up. So 1 out. Adam Everett. He's 1 for 3, but it was a big one. Had a drawn in infield. All he did was get himself a 2 RBI single. Right down the third baseline. One and 1 to count to Everett. Well, Stone Pony, for those viewers that are just tuning in, we had a 3-3 tie going to the 7th. And back-to-back leadoff walks, something you never ever see from Mark Burley. And then another walk as Alexei is going to throw him out. 2 down.
Well, 4 of the walks have scored tonight. And that's one of the big reasons why there's a 3-run deficit to this point. Looks like it'll stay that way as we head into the bottom of the 9th.
Well, it boiled down to where you wanted to see who to make contact, Granderson or Polanco. And here is Curtis. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Coming back in the 7th, and he scored on that bases clearing double by Placid. Checks it up. Can't check it up. 0-1. Johnny Danks against Justin Verlander tomorrow night, so make your plans to be with us right here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. If you can, it'll be over Comcast Sportsnet. Thursday afternoon, there's the big right-hander who's just been something short of sensational his last 8 starts. And let's check out the rest of our Felco schedule for you. Then Thursday afternoon, Gavin Floyd against Edwin Jackson. And that game will be over WGN. Then it's off to Milwaukee for 3. Breaking ball can't get it. In that Milwaukee series, we're going to run Clayton Richard, Jose Contreras, and Mark Burley to the bump. They're going to run Jeff Suppan, Manny Parra, and Braden Lupa. There's a breaking ball hammered. Too good a pitch right there with the breaking ball.
AJ wants it low and away, but unfortunately that one hangs over the middle of the plate. And Granderson drives that ball into right field. Gobble not particularly happy with the location, and they're going to walk Polanco. To get to Thomas. Remember, Thomas came in for Ordonez defensively, so it'll be lefty on lefty. That's part of that Milwaukee series is we miss Gallardo, who's their #1 starter. And Milwaukee had a 2-0 lead tonight. only to see it slip away. They lost to Colorado. Well, the Brewers having some difficulties with the Rockies, as everybody is having difficulties with the Rockies these days.
Well, Colorado, they won 6 in a row. Under new skipper Jim Tracy. So here's Cleet Thomas. That ball in the right center field. Jermaine Cunningham makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. If Breton can't score, we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It is 6-3 Detroit.
It's 6-3 as we head into the bottom of the ninth inning, and it's Fernando Rodney coming on for the 26th time. He's 0-1, ERA 3.60, looking for his 12th save. And as you can see, he's tougher on the left-handers than the right-handers, and that's because of just an exceptional straight change. When you've got a fastball anywhere from 93 to 95 and mix it with a great straight change, you get a chance to get a lot of people out.
Brian Anderson will start it off. Brian is 1 for 3, a 2-run homer back in the 5th inning. That tied the ball game up at 3. But if you're just tuning in, we have seen once again something we've known for about 130 years now. That leadoff walks will eat your lunch. Had that one in the 5th, they scored 2. Back-to-backs in the 7th, they scored 3. Outfield, they are straight up, spread out. Checks it up, and the count 1-1. Posednik on deck, and Alexi Ramirez in the hole. That was with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
The problem is when you get to be looking for that one, he's got a straight change from the same release point with the same arm velocity, and that's one that usually gets you.
Well, he's got one of the top 5 right-handed changeups.
Yep.
In this league. And the guy out there in Anaheim has probably got, you'd have to rate him maybe number 1, Jared Weaver. He's got one that's just, you can't do anything about it. If Weaver's getting his fastball over, that changeup of Weaver's is just devastating. There's the change. Ball 4 base hit right here, Brian. We need some runners. You got to get on for the big boys. And that's ball 4, so a good at bat for Brian Anderson.
You don't see that too often because Rodney, despite throwing all that hard, this is his 26th appearance. He's just walked his 9th guy. So good eye by Brian Anderson. A couple of changeups missed. Tried to throw a fastball by him, but threw it wide of the plate.
Hyde's 1 for 3. He walked to lead off the bottom of the first. Stole second. Went to third on a little ground out.
And Laird out
on
there.
A wild pitch.
Along with Everett now. Try to settle down Rodney. Everett wanting to know what signals Laird is using, because he wants to know if he should play Posednik as an off-field hitter, because if he's going to stay away, then he's going to play him in the hole to his right. If he's going to throw him change-ups, he's likely to play him up the middle.
And the count 2-0.
And on the run, Rick Knapp now goes out because he realizes one more base runner, and Rodney will be facing the tying run.
Knapp has his little chit chat. This is where, as a hitter, you just cannot help him out. You have got to make him throw strikes, but on the other side of that page, you still have to be aggressive once you are swinging the bat. And the count 3-0.
Scotty Potts taken all the way that time. You got to force Rodney to throw a strike, possibly two. Brandon Lyon throwing in the pen.
And that's ball 4. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate now with nobody out. Back-to-back leadoff walk.
Well, we saw it on the other side back in the 7th inning when back-to-back walks to lead off an inning led to 3. It very easily happened here. And Leland doesn't go out and remove Rodney too often in save situations.
Alexei is 1 for 3 with the base on balls. That's the 9th walk issued by Detroit pitching. Our guys have walked 6 tonight. That almost hit it.
And Ramirez did a tremendous job of getting out of the way of it. You hate to take a 94-mile-an-hour fastball for the club.
Well, you got out of bounds stakes.
I mean, self-preservation takes over, and you say, I got to get out of the way of this. And Ramirez looked like Gumby.
That was not one to take for the club right there. If you don't have any more padding,
especially
on your body
if you're that thin.
Right. Don't help him out. And the count 2-0. Jermaine Dye on deck. Tomey in the hole.
And Jim Joyce wants to break this up, and he's telling Cabrera to get back at first base. Because that quite obviously is stalling tactics. As you see Knapp on the phone wanting to know if Lyon is ready.
And there's one. Outfield still straight up, spread out. Now the 2-1. 3 balls and a strike.
One of the things to bear in mind against Rodney, and Jim Leland certainly knows this, Konerko hitting .417 and Tomey .429.
And there's the strike. So a full count with 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and we trail it 6-3. Ball for a base hit, Alexi. Big rip, souvenir right side.
A good job of staying alive, because that was about as hard as Rodney can throw it. He wasn't trying to finesse him there. He just rears back to see if you can hit it. And Alexei quick enough to normally hit those.
And that is shanked over the Tiger dugout.
Alexei's in swing mode because that was ball 4. That was way up and in. He cracked his bat. So we'll go back and get another one.
And here's what Steve was talking about right here.
Take a look at the location.
Once again, the payoff. And that's way outside. Ball 4. That will load him up. And here comes the go-ahead or winning run to the plate. And here comes Leland.
Rodney leaves, Lyon enters, and Lyon doesn't have a save this year, but he's a former closer with the Diamondbacks.
Well, one difference is, as we take a look at Brandon Lyon coming on, Fernando Rodney this year has thrown 1 home, 5.
Well, he'll have Lyon comes into this. He was signed as a free agent to be a setup man. Last year he had 26 saves with the Arizona Diamondbacks, but his ERA was .470. So Lyon comes into this one 1-3, 5.47 ERA, on for the 21st time.
And here's Jermaine Dye. Big hack, he got it up.
That was one of the curveballs that wasn't his best. He kind of rolled that one over. And Jermaine, the 9th Grand Slam, would win it.
Jermaine has faced Lyon 3 times, has 1 hit. And very quickly the count 0-2. Cinch it up and hunker down right here, 23. Good 2-strike hitter. Good pitch by Lyon. And a good job by JD just to fight it off.
Well, Laird wanted it inside off the plate. Lyon threw a good moving fastball inside off the plate. If you're going to miss on this side of the plate, miss in and off the plate, which is what he did, but that was a good pitch. Alexei with the best speed, and he's the tying run.
Outfield there, no double set. Spread out and deep. Player to the outside, now to the inside.
Well, 2 fastballs inside usually leads to an attempted put-away curveball. And that's Lyon's best pitch when he's right.
Another good pitch by Lyon and another good job by Jermaine just to fight it off.
That was a little cut fastball on the outside corner.
Anderson at third, Paz at second, Alexei at first. 1-2 the count to JD. One out.
That was 92. Just off the corner. Too close to take. Too far away to hit.
Boy, he made some good pitches on him.
He certainly did.
He made the bad pitch on the first one.
He rolled the first one, and after that,
it was lights out. Wow.
Jim told me with his opportunity, and Rick Knapp is going out there to tell him, don't get the ball down.
Now Jim Joyce halfway out as they finish their little conference. That's what you call a workover right there. After Jermaine had that first pitch of the sequence, he got nothing.
Well, they also talked about how they're going to defend. And now they're going to put Inge, the third baseman, at straightaway shortstop, and Everett, the shortstop, on the first base side of second. There you see the defense.
And here's Tomey. Well, they don't care about anything except Alexei. Curveball down. Anderson and Posednik don't mean anything. Now they're even deeper in the outfield, especially Granderson in center. And a big pitch coming up right here. ball, and now the count 2-0, so he's got the catbird seat.
Kind of surprised Polanco isn't deeper at second base. I mean, normally you'd see him on the outfield. But right now, he's just one step on the grass.
Made a good pitch on him on 2-0. Went right underneath his hands.
Put that one in the one spot that Jimmy's not going to get to.
And the 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike with Konerko on deck. Well, here comes Brian, and it's a 6-4 ball game.
4 walks this inning. And now Alexei, representing the tying run, is at second, and Dwayne Wise will pinch run for Jim Thome because that's the winning run. So Big Jim's night is done. The Sox still don't have a hit with runners in scoring position tonight.
Well, Jim walks 3 times this evening. And Paulie, he's due. He's 0 for 3. Takes strike 1. First pitch in these sequences are huge, and Lyon gets the call. He gets the strike. Hinge back and off the line, well off the line at third.
And they're still playing a no doubles defense because they're still deep all the way around.
And the count 0-2 with Pierzynski on deck. Come on, Paulie. Come on, Paulie. Stay fair. It will. It will. It's fair. Here comes Wise. They're waiting him around. Here's a throw to the plate. And they get him.
He called him safe and then called him out.
Paul Konerko double. And this game is tied at 6. Yes. Yes.
RBA's 38 and 39. Rayburn goes into the corner, makes a good relay to Everett, who gets it to Laird, but not until the Sox tie it up. That fastball is supposed to be inside a bit more, and Paul takes it down the line, but he kept it fair. It doesn't hook. And Rayburn does a nice job on the relay throw, and Everett throws it to Laird. You see him call him safe at first, and then call him out.
We got to see another angle on that. He called him safe and then called him out.
Let's watch the hand again and watch the lead hand of Dwayne Wise representing the winning run. And everybody calling him safe, including Jim Joyce.
They're going to walk A.J. He is on. I'll tell you, that could be just one huge missed call right there.
Watch it one more time. It's a real good relay throw. And Dwayne Wise with excellent speed. And watch the front hand. Watch this angle.
That sure appears he is safe right there. That he got it in. So here's Gordon Beckham. Curveball strike. That looks like he got his hand in there. Watch right here.
Well, right here is where he's safe. Because his hand's on it, and then he tags him on the back. And that's the best angle of that shot. Nice camera work, guys. You had it a lot of different ways, but it looked like he got the hand in, and now Fields is running at second base.
Another breaking ball, and now
this is from the RoboCam.
He's safe.
Well, you see Jim Joyce throw his arms out. And then
he called him safe and then called him out. Two out. And the 0-2 pitch to Beckham. Sox tie it up, come up with 3. We're into extra innings, tied at 6.
It's a bang-bang play at the plate. Wise representing the tying run. Joyce in position to make the call. Looks like the hand is right on the plate before Laird gets him, but
he's safe. Then he puts a tag on him. So now Gobble came in to throw, get his warm-up tosses. Now Ozzy's going to wait until they get somebody ready down in the bullpen, and now go out and get them. So Scott, line break will come on, and we'll be back.
Scott Linebrink comes into this one at 2-3. We head into the 10th inning. Scott's ERA 174 on for the 22nd time. And he's got to go right through the heart of the Tiger order.
So as you saw that graphic, both teams 0-1 in extra inning games this year. So a 6-6 tie, 6-7-0 for the Tigers, 6-6-0. And again, leadoff walks will eat your lunch as that pitch misses.
Well, all three of the Rodney walks come home to score.
That ball is hit high and deep. Brian Anderson back jumps.
Can't get it.
And it is out of here. So the home run by Cabrera, and the Tigers take a 7-6 lead. Now that call at home plate by Jim Joyce really has got a chance to be huge. That's Cabrera's first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 13.
11 and 39 on the power numbers.
And that's popped up. So one out. Schedule hitters for us: Getz, Anderson, and Posednik in the bottom of the 10th. And 1 to count to Inge. Inge is 1 for 2. He homered in the second. He walked to lead off the 5th, came around to score. He walked to lead off the 7th, came around to score. They scored 2 in the 5th and 3 in the 7th. So 8 of the 12 runs have come as a result of leadoff walks. One and 2 the count. Close play at home, but indeed, it looked like he had his hand in there. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
It's a splitter. Little outside.
And a full count. And that's out of play right side. 7-6 Tigers on top here in the top of the 10th inning. And there's the walk. Third walk of the evening for Inge. And that'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn has struck out, had a bunt single, a big bunt single. He walked and scored in the 7th. So he scored 2 tonight. Outfield for the most part straight up. Beckham even with the bag off the line at third.
Swing around, we show you the defense. Well, the infield looking for 2.
If you're just joining us, Burley started. Gotel, Gobble, now line break. For them, Dontrell Willis, Minor, C, Zumaya, Rodney, and Lyon. Oh, that's going foul. The ball is striking out. Tomorrow night in Game 4, Johnny Danks against Justin Verlander. So make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. Good pitch, ate him up. If you can't, that game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And then Thursday afternoon, Gavin Floyd against Edwin Jackson. As you check out the upcoming probables, after the Thursday game, it's off to Milwaukee. What a big base hit by Konerko. Big hit for Paulie.
He was able to take an inside pitch, hit it down the line, and not hook it foul.
That's the whole key. 0-2 inside and keep it fair. There goes in. Gets him. 2 down. Got to bring up Gerald Laird. Laird has had 2 beautiful bunt singles, sacrifice. He also has struck out and grounded to third.
This is where in the infield you have to dive to make sure you knock anything down. It's a big run out at second base. Gives the Tigers an insurance run. They have the lead by 1.
That's foul back in the count 1-1. Join us late. 3 home runs in the ball game. 2 by them, 1 by us. 1 by Brandon Inge. That was in the 2nd inning. 1 by us. With a 2-run homer in the 5th to tie the game by Brian Anderson, and now the one here in the top of the 10th by Cabrera. As he goes through that, and the count 1-2. Ball upstairs. Adam Everett. Tigers have executed really well so far. Sacrifice bunts, that relay play home. There's a big hack right there by Laird. Count hangs at 2-2. Everett making a solid throw.
Rayburn making the first part of it. You have to hit the cutoff man and then give him his shot. If that throws off, then.
Well, Everett's not going to make the throw if that first one's off. They're both. That's a beautiful play. A well executed relay. And that's high. So a full count. This will be the 23rd pitch of the inning for line break. Base on balls galore tonight. We have walked 8. They have walked 10.
Well, after Scott threw a high fastball by him, he just tried to overthrow those last couple of pitches.
Everett 1 for 4 of that big 2-run single. Out in front of that one. He has had no trouble getting out in front. And that one's foul. 0-2 the count to Adam Everett. As I mentioned, schedule hitters are Getz, Anderson, and Posednik in the bottom of the 10th. I guess it was low. Two on, two out, one in. And that is looped out in the right field. Jermaine, yes! Another great catch by Jermaine Dye to save 2 runs. Hopefully he is not hurt. But what a play by Dye. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. We need 1 to tie. And we trail it 7-6 and look at another.
What an
Great
effort
play
by Jermaine Dye, and fortunately he comes away unscathed because he rolls over that wrist. And then over the shoulder, we saw Dwayne Wise in a similar situation separate the shoulder, and then Ozzie with an ancient Venezuelan remedy. Just rub his ear until he can't stand it anymore. He'll forget about his wrist.
Chris Getz will lead it off against Brandon Lyon. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. 7-8-0 for the Tigers, 6-6-0 for our Sox. There have been 18 walks issued in this game. And of the 13 runs, 8 of them have been the results of that. There's a strike on the outside corner. Chris has been to the plate one time. He grounded out 3-1. Popped up into right field. Lee Thomas, and that's out number 1. Here's Brian Anderson. Brian is 1 for 3, a 2-run homer, and he walked last inning to start off that 3-run ninth. Curveball high. And that's foul back. 1-1 to count to Anderson.
They're playing Brian exactly straight up, both in the infield and the outfield.
This outfield does not move around a whole bunch.
Nope. But Inge is moving a couple steps toward the line at third.
And the count 1-2.
Anderson questioning the call.
Way outside. Just tuning in. A very, very close play at home plate. It looked like Dwayne Wise got his hand in before the tag, and this ball game would have been over. But he was called out.
No doubt about that one.
2 down.
Lyon's got a curve and a slider. This is the little slider. Even though Laird caught it and took it down, that one is a good pitch.
So here's Scotty Pides. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of walks, a stolen base, and a couple of runs scored. Okay, trying to tie it up right there. Big ball game, and it looks like they're in trouble. 0-2 the count. Way outside. Right here, Scotty, base it. It'll be Johnny Danks against Justin Verlander tomorrow as the Sox lose a tough one right here. We score 3, Stone Pony in the bottom of the ninth, and it looked like it could have been 4.